Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are taking a look at Arthas Menethil, probably the strongest warrior back in the alpha, I would say tied with Diablo, and just kind of fell off the face of the earth for a long time. He, a couple months ago, got some very good talent reworks, I think, and he's usable on a couple maps now, and I never actually did a video about those talent changes. My bad. But now that we've landed on him in the A through Z, I can go ahead and talk about those changes and just talk about how he fit into the game in the past and how he fits into the game now. Let's go, Arthas. Oh, he also has this new skin that, like, the third tint is, so good. I love the third tint. I just don't have a mount that I can match with it right now. So we're not gonna use it. And it makes me real sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes me real sad. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, that was a long queue time, and it was a long loading screen. I feel like I've been here for 15 minutes waiting for this game to start. Oh, I hope I make you proud. Hi team. Hi team. We are going to pick up Eternal Hunger at level 1. This is a talent that not only increases Arthas' damage on his trait, but also increases the mana that the trait returns to him. Arthas is actually a pretty mana-intensive character if you're not using your trait properly. And what your trait is you do an empowered auto attack. And this is off of your auto attack timer. So you can auto attack and then immediately use Frostmourne Hungers right after. And it's pretty good. If you can actually walk up to someone and deal damage to them, it's a great way of increasing your damage output. There's a lot of people coming down to the bottom lane right now. I'm just gonna casually walk away, team. Just gonna casually walk away. We are, wait, what? Guys, I'm playing Chan, answer else I'm going AFK. Me. Glad I could help. Good team members already. So, I mentioned that Arthas used to be one of the best warriors in the game, and this is so true. Back in the days of the alpha, he had more health than any other character, I believe, other than Diablo, who probably was the other best warrior in the game. He, could just completely heal through just about anything that anyone could throw at him, because there wasn't as much crowd control in the game back then. There wasn't as much burst damage in the game back in the alpha. So it was like, most fights took a while. You'd be punching someone for a while, and Arthas has so much sustain that he could just basically live through everything. Even with his current build right now, you'll find lots of sustain just inherently in his build makeup. You could do a ton of different talent builds and still come to the same conclusion that, well, you're a pretty beefy warrior that's pretty good at living through things. We're currently contesting middle, but no one is going top, so I'm going to try to make my way up there, even though Arthas versus a Tychus probably won't go too well. Let's just go ahead and we'll stand on this point and we'll hope for the best. Alright, let's go ahead and cast our E. Our E ability is a slow around us. It's also going to be ticking this damage. Man, the Abathur top hat sure is helpful. Man, that Abathur top hat sure is helpful. I think we just lost middle, so they are going to get the dragon. That's going to push middle, and that's going to be unfortunate. So our abilities are actually pretty, well, some of them are pretty unique. Arthas is, I believe, the only character in the game that has a spell that could be cast on enemy heroes defaultly, like innately, or be cast on himself. So our Q ability, it's called, what is it called? Death Coil. And I really need to not get punted here. It's called Death Coil, and it allows us to cast this on an enemy hero just to deal some damage. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It just does damage. Or we could cast it on ourselves and it will heal us, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool that one of the earliest characters to be added to the game had this really interesting design planned in from day one. I think we're gonna die to a grenade. Nope, not gonna die to a grenade. We're gonna be okay, team. His W ability is a skill shot route, and it's pretty slow and pretty hard to land, I think anyway. And then his E ability is just a constant AoE around him, and again, it is going to stack up a slow that gets progressively slower over time. It'll slow the enemy more based on how long they've been in it. Looks like Chen's in a bit of trouble in the middle lane. Let's go in and try to help out. I don't think we'll quite be able to get a kill here just because there's so many bodies in the middle lane. But we can still come in here and soak his XP for the team. We are a little behind now. All right, let's just come in here. We'll start cleaving. I did build a little bit for AoE damage so I could kind of push lanes while we have a second to do so. Although for, I believe, the rest of the game, we're going to be looking at a lot of sustain focused talents. We need to make sure we're using our Frostborn Hungers versus enemy heroes. So I'm just going to move down here and use it on Nazebo real quick. This route should land. Tyrion's going to jump in behind me though, and that's going to be unfortunate. That's going to be unfortunate. Oh, I think we're fine. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I'm a very good Arthas player. I've never really been a very good Arthas player. But his new talents are pretty interesting. We are going to go for a Mortal Coil here. So his new talents are kind of based around the idea of you can pressure squishy backline heroes without really having to walk right up to these heroes. And we're going to be doing that with our Death Coil. So our Death Coil, now instead of either damaging or healing us, our Death Coil is now always going to heal us, even if we cast it on an enemy player. Now there is a travel time associated with this. So like when you send out the Death Coil, if the target is running away from you, you have to wait for the spell to actually reach this target player and then bounce back to you. So that can take some getting used to if you've never used it before. But we can go ahead and Death Coil that ETC, try to finish him off. Weren't quite able to. But we could root this Nova really quick. I just assumed that was the real one. No, I don't think it is. No, it was the real one. That's fine. We can heal off of her. And we can go in with Frostborn Hungers and then be taken down because we were totally juked by a decoy. I was juked so hard by a decoy. That just feels bad. At level 10, he actually has some pretty interesting talent choices. Again, a very unique effect for a very early in development character. We have Summon Sindragosa, which is a big dragon that I could summon, send forward, and it'll freeze every building in its path, and it'll also, you know, slow down enemy heroes and stuff. This is way before we heard any whispers of Sylvanas and her ability to nullify towers. So again, you've had this interesting warrior who could do stuff that no one else in the game could, with even more dynamic levels, like being able to just completely siege if you wanted to, like completely slow down buildings. We, however, are going to, they got dragon again, we're going to go for Army of the Dead. And what Army of the Dead is going to do is allow us to spawn a ton of zombies. That was a decent mind control, although you did pull him away from the team a little bit, but we're still going to get that kill on ETC. Now, these zombies can help me in combat. They can go in and they can attack stuff with me, and all in all, they're pretty good companions to have. We'll go ahead and we'll spawn them in right now, for instance. But I could also, if I don't feel like, well, just having these zombies out dealing damage, I could continue to sacrifice them one by one to heal myself, which is how I got so much health back there so quickly. And that's just, like, again, when the game was a lot more slow-paced and, you know, your actions, if you could heal yourself at all, it was a very meaningful heal because there wasn't a ton of burst damage back in the day. That's a really, really big deal that he could just sit there and survive through so much stuff. Now, there is a 2-second cooldown whenever we're trying to sacrifice one of these zombies, so it's not like it's a very fast heal, but certainly in the middle of a fight, and especially with a healer by your side, you can really live through a lot. So I know I'm saying there's not a ton of burst damage in the technical alpha. Keep in mind, this is before Nova could kill you with gathering power instantly. This is before, way before characters like Li Ming existed. Tychus was kind of like, I don't know, a character that could just chase someone down. He didn't really have any burst. The only characters I can think of in the alpha that actually had some burst were I mean, fucking Zeratul would even die to a Malfurion. Zeratul could not kill Malfurion. Malfurion could heal too much. So it was like, back in the alpha, the only burst characters were a red Archon Tassadar and like a Gem Rainer with Banshees. And no, Jaina was way after. God, that was such a weird time to play this game. Such a strange time. But you know, these slow methodical heals for Arthas, they worked pretty well. What really made him not worth playing was the removal of a talent by the name of Resurgence of the Storm. That was one of the worst things ever in this game. What Resurgence of the Storm was it was a talent at level 20, and it allowed you to resurrect if you died. You would have a 4-second death timer. Keep in mind, this is at level 20, so you're talking 15, 16 minutes into the game. Being able to res immediately is a pretty sizable advantage. We're going to go ahead and summon in the zombie army here, and again, start to sacrifice these guys. And we should be able to live through anything that this Tyrael could do. Let's juke the explosion. Wasn't quite able to do that, but we're still healing from the zombies. We were able to live through all of that just by ourselves. I don't know what talent I want, by the way. What? I mean, I really don't know what talent I want. I mean, we don't need to reduce attack speed, do we? So I guess we'll just lower the cooldown on Frostborn Hungers, I guess. I don't know. Let's go after this Nzebo pretty hard. I mean, that's a mind control, okay. She just kind of wiggled him around. I'm gonna have to leave now. We do have a death coil to heal ourselves again, but it looks like the rest of our team is dead. The stage dive! The stage dive! Uh-oh, team. Uh-oh, team. Stop! There's a root! We're gonna be fine. We're gonna totally be okay. So, Resurgence of the Storm was the worst talent ever in the game. It allowed you to res very, very quickly. So, again, think back to a time where we didn't have as much burst damage. Think back to that. Now we have Arthas, this character who is just a massive ball of health that can live through just about anything. And he is able to heal for thousands and thousands of health, then die and come back to the team fight just a moment later as if nothing had happened. It was so crazy difficult to deal with. Is this the real one? I'll hit it. It wasn't the real one. Keep it, like, look how many dragons they've gotten and how little siege damage they've actually done. It's actually a little hilarious. Let's come in here on this Tychus. We'll try to root him. We missed, but he should be close enough for our E, I think. Or we could just do this weird dance together. Okay. Hi, Tychus. You're going back towards my base. Okay. I don't know what the end game is here. You're back in my slow again. And there's stuff like that. Do you guys remember? I can't remember the name of the fucking video. We've talked about it before, though. It's like, it's this mock trailer for a horror movie about a guy who's haunted by a spirit. And it's like the incredibly slow death because he's being haunted by this spirit that hits him with a spoon. And then no one believes him because no one can see this spirit, but he basically travels the whole world being tracked down by this guy with a spoon that just beats him to death over the course of like 50 years. I know that was like a weird description, but like old school YouTubers, they'll be able to remember that. It was like actually crazy popular back in the day. I feel like Arthas is kind of that right now. At least with this particular build. We are going to increase our burst damage a little bit with our latest Death Coil talent, Embrace Death. We're going to deal 10% more damage for each 10% of our health that we are missing, which means the more we chase down characters like this Tychus, who is completely dead, the more health he takes away from us, the more health we're just going to be able to get back. Just with our Death Coil. We could have increased the range of this ability at level 4, but I actually thought the AoE damage would be a little bit better. And our poor little Abathur just died to a Nova, but we got some towers done. We killed him. We killed him dead. We are getting rotated on, so I'm going to go this way. Yeah! I deceived them. I do want to take bottom, though. We should definitely be moving in on that. Chen's taking a mercenary camp by himself, and Falstad's farming middle. So we don't really seem to want the objectives that bad. At least that's my initial impression. But yeah, eventually, Arthas was just kind of nerfed into the ground. All of his numbers were kind of tweaked, and he wasn't really worth picking up anymore. Then we saw the rise of characters like Muradin, who all of a sudden became a bit more viable, and characters like ETC. ETC, I remember in the alpha, no one ever played him ever. There was no reason to. So it was the removal of Resurgence of the Storm for Arthas, and then the just progression of him being nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, that he eventually just became a character that you wouldn't pick up in any scenario. Once maps like the Infernal Shrines were added to the game, and as you can imagine, you know, with this AoE clear that I have going on around my character, he's actually pretty good at dealing just AoE damage to small things. He became pretty good on Infernal Shrines, and then the changes to his talent build, kind of optimizing it a little bit and putting this emphasis on his Q ability, made him significantly more worth picking up. That's the real Nova here, and I think the Dragon Knight just secured us a nice kill on this Tychus. Thank you, Dragon Knight. Thank you for that punt. I'm going to try to rally the team a little bit more. I would say right now he's still in a position where, you know, I wouldn't really recommend that you take Arthas over other warriors in most cases, but again, on Infernal Shrines or like Tomb of the Spider Queen, he still can live through a lot, and he's still, you know, he's pretty good at just dealing very small incremental amounts of AoE damage. So there's that. We should definitely push while we have the numbers advantage, and we have our Sylvanas here. So let's move right in here. And as you can see, keeping this AoE up, it does increase my damage a lot, but it also is a pretty hefty mana cost. So it is important to kind of always be using your trait as much as possible. Not only for the damage increase, but also just straight up for the mana return that it has, if you want to do this kind of a build. And Frostborn Hungers is actually pretty good. Like, you can win some duels with it. It's not bad. We do need to be thinking about backing up now, at least to get the... Okay, I guess we're just diving in now. Or is he going to split? Okay, he's splitting. I'm not too sure which one was the real Nova. Apparently, I'm having a really hard time with that today. I mean, not really apparently. I'm just having a really hard time with that today. Our Sylvanas is dead, so our main pushing power has been taken away from us, but it looks like we're still trying to stay in here for some reason. I have enough mana to, like, live through just about anything. Death Coil on that guy should take him down. And we can go ahead and slowly start to back up. I want to hit this with Frostborn Hungers just to get that mana back. Abathur pushed up in the bottom lane. A little dangerous, living on the edge, especially when there's a Nova on the map. We are gonna go for Legion of Northrend. And a couple videos ago when I was playing an Uberak, someone mentioned that Anti-Magic Cell in Arthas is actually the best spell shield in the game. You activate to reduce damage taken from abilities by 100% for 3 seconds and heal yourself for 25% of the damage mitigated. I'll agree, that's a pretty good spell shield. But what we're going to do is make our zombies last longer and heal for more. Is that what it is? 3 additional ghouls are created. Ghouls heal for an additional 50% and last 5 seconds longer. So we have more damage output when we pop our ultimate if we want them out on the map for damage. Or, Falstad, you want to take over the fucking shrine? You're standing next to? You want to take that over? You want to do it for the team? Come on, Falstad. Come on, Falstad. We can do it. Seriously, we need to kind of focus on the objective a little bit. I know the enemy team. Let's try to focus on the objective a bit more. There we go. That was cheery. There's no way that could be as misconstrued as condescending. No, not me. No sirree. All right, we do find the enemy ETC in the jungle on the way over. We are going to start to pop Army of the Dead and start to heal from that. There's not much that a Tychus can do to us here, but the entire damage dealers of the enemy team, you better believe that they can do something to me. I'm going to need a good route here just to get away, and we're just going to keep backing up. I want to stay in range just for some more Death Coils, because we do have the Abathur copy of Arthas out. This Death Coil should heal me. Oh, please heal me. Oh, God. Oh, I wasn't able to cast it in time because of the range and then the stun from ETC, but I would still say that was a pretty good trade. We have Falstad, who could fly down to the bottom and then, or walk down to the bottom and then take top. We definitely need a top hat on Chen here, which we have now. That's very, very good. Flybot? Burrowbot? I mean, we could have Abathur burrow down and then Falstad take middle. That's definitely something we could do. Dude, Chen is going so deep right now. Chen, you got to get out. You got to kick over the wall. Just kick the wall. I'm very fascinated to see how this plays out. Now, Chen Abathur is one of the best combos in the whole game. It's so good. He could just live through so much. All right, let's get the Dagon. Hopefully we push really well with this objective. The enemy team has not been able to get anything done with theirs like this whole game. Hopefully we'll be a bit more proficient. Now, if I was the one controlling a dragon right now, I wouldn't even bother going middle. I especially wouldn't bother killing walls. But I would go straight for the tier 2 buildings in either top or bottom. So I'm going to ping that a lot. Because there's no reason to take damage here. Go bot. Go bot. Go bot. You're just killing the dragon over nothing. Alright, well, let's move in. Let's help him. I'm assuming this is the real Nova here. So let's root her. We do have our Army of the Dead, but I have not cast it yet. Let's go ahead and hit ETC with that Death Coil. Just healed me for over 1,000. And again, there's really no reason to kill this, but as long as we're here with the team, we'll push in with them and try to make this count. The Army of the Dead is still here, and I can still use it to heal myself. We need to remember to use our trait as often as possible to keep returning that very vital mana. The trait has ended, but we do have Death Coil that we can send out for some healing. Just heal me for 564 there. Just wasted dragons all around in this game, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's go ahead and land a root. Hopefully save the 2 of us there. Not bad at all. I tried to juke there, but I think it cost me. I think it cost me. Next time we get dragon, let's try to go for the keeps instead. Much more value. The enemy team is pushing in middle pretty hard. They want our Sylvanas to delay. I don't know if she'll be able to. It actually looks like they're afraid of Sylvanas. I don't understand. Meanwhile, Abathur was up in the top lane. I thought he'd be spawning some locusts up there, but I actually don't see any locusts at all. I wonder what his build is. He went pure for top hat, man. He was ready to babysit that Chen. You gotta respect that. That full faith he had in his teammate. You gotta respect that. Because we're warriors with an Abby top hat, and we're walking into other warriors. Very easy to deal damage then. All right, let's try to focus on this objective. I do think our Falstad could be a little bit more aggressive with his global presence. I'm going to ping for some help up top. We have the mercenary camp pushing up with us. So if we're able to draw a lot of attention to top lane, like at the shrine, that mercenary camp can push in quite a ways. This is a little risky because we don't know where anyone else is. All right, we're going to go ahead and pop the zombies right away. I did miss the route on this Tychus here. There's a mind control going on behind me. I guess I should have pulled back for that. But I'm going to try to get in here and I'm going to try to help. We'll just focus this ETT for a second. Switching over to Tychus now. He used his E, so we're going to root him. I don't have very much longer on these zombies. So let's try to get some healing there. Alright, they have faded. We still have Death Coil in 2 seconds. We're going to hit Tychus with it, maybe. Alright, we'll just back up. We'll just back up. We have Abathur top hat ready to go. There it is. Beautiful. Looks like we have the lasting shield on it. I can't quite tell. All right, we've taken top. Chen is making his way down to the bottom lane, and I will try to grab middle very, very quickly. I think we should be able to get it before Nova is able to neutralize that, I hope. And here we go. Beautiful. Now I'm going to go for a tier 2 building, boys. Hopefully Abathur is able to clean up that. He's doing a great job. And I'm going to go straight for the tier 2, try to get some catapults pushing in, and we should be fine. All right, let's move over here so we're not being hit by the tower as well. And we can just kick these guys right out of the way. Whoa, I'm being melted though. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm kind of screwed, huh? Kind of screwed. Yeah, wasted. I did not expect that much damage to come out of that team. I really didn't. All right, so I'm dead for the next 54 seconds. We have Falstad coming back up in just a moment. He said we were way ahead on damage. This is pretty low for Falstad Sylvanas. I don't think this is their fault, though. Both of these teams are crazy unorganized, not really working together well at all. Like, for instance, when we were dead and the enemy team was pushing in, they had 3 people that could have moved in and killed this fort to get, or to kill the keep and get siege minions pushing, but they didn't do that at all. Looks like they're trying to rectify that mistake now. Chen diving in on the Tychus in the back line. Tychus is probably the scariest person in the game for Chen. The mind control on Tyrael is going to get him killed, so we have the numbers advantage there. Hopefully we continue to trade. Unfortunately, Falstad did die to the explosion from that Tyrael, which is unfortunate. Chen still diving in is going to be fine as his other copies fade. Unfortunately, Sylvanas going in very, very far there, chasing after the enemy team. The mines! Oh, get me in there. I'm in hot pursuit. I'm in hot fucking pursuit right now. Wasn't that a Need for Speed game? Pretty sure it was. Dude, oh my god. And then ETC comes back just so he can die. Dude, we need to push bottom, like now. We need to push bottom now. Get bot. If we can take that and then we have the catapult pressure, we're going to be in a great spot. We just need to go do it very, very quickly. 4 members of the enemy team are dead, so we should be relatively safe. We have Abathur, who's going to take top shrine. Then we can take the bottom. I agree, I wasted the Dragon Knight here, but we can certainly make up for that mistake now. And we have. Now, in another setting, I might say that we could go for the core, but I don't think we can here. I am going to get bottom. I got it. I am going to get bottom, and hopefully someone else can grab middle. Falstad flying middle now. This is great. This is great. Bit of a tense game, to say the least, but I think we are going to pull out on top here. Tyrael Judgment on Chen, though. Looks like it might be the end for our drinking buddy. No, he's going to heal through it. He's going to heal through it just fine. And Nazebo, overstaying his welcome, is going to be taken down. They're asking if they want to go core or keep. Always go core. Always go core. Like, don't always go core. Like, seriously, don't quote me on that. But for real, though, always go core. You know what I'm saying? Currently not on the core right now, though. Alright, let's focus the Tychus. I do have my zombies to heal me up. I do have my zombies to deal some damage. But we are going to have to back out here for just a second just to try to peel off for our Sylvanas. There's the root. Oh, actually a really good blink from ETC. Stopped me from rooting him. The core is at 45% health, and I don't think we're going to be able to get it. And you could say that was because I wasn't on the core, but I'm Arthas. I don't really do a lot of siege damage. Keeping the Sylvanas alive in that particular scenario, making sure that our main siege damage dealer was alive, I think was more valuable than me actually hitting the core there. Not a lot of luck with dragons in this particular match. I do think pressuring middle right now is the right thing to do. Much more important than this wiggling around that we have from the Falstad player here. Especially when they have to remember that they do have the top hat from Arthas, and someone was showing, or excuse me, from Abathur, and someone was showing up in the top lane. But yeah. Which ultimate did he go for? Did he go for Gust, or did he go for... So that was a very easy situation. The Falstad could have gone in there, and he could have gusted that target back. And Chen could have gotten out just fine. Just overall, like, lack of... We're not meshing well, I feel like. There's not a lot of cohesion going on. The enemy team moving in to take down the keep in the middle lane now. So they have core pressure in 2 lanes, where we only have core pressure in 1. The next objective should be up pretty soon. This match has been going on so long that I'm going to have to hit my camera to make sure it doesn't turn off. And let's just try to get some camps. That's the only thing on the map that we can easily achieve right now. Let's just try to get some camps moving in the right direction. The objective is about to come up. We are going to have everyone alive for this, so that's good. Let's get this camp over here too. If we do it quick, it's fine. If we take too long, well, then we're going to be missing out on this objective quite a lot. They are all in the bottom lane. I don't think we should walk into that. Let's go top. At least 3 of them are down in the bottom lane. So if we can catch someone up here, this is going to be great for the team. They are not currently capping this, so let's go ahead and we'll take it. And then let's just... I think we should just stay up top and pressure it. Make them come to us. We're the ones that are already poised up here. I don't know why Falstad's so far back. I'm really not trying to point fingers at the Falstad. There's just some decisions that I'm a little unclear as to why he would be making them. They are pushing bottom pretty hard. Our option is basically to only defend here. I do think retaking the bottom shrine might be good because we just left top clear open, like ready to go. And they are going for that right now. So Falstad's flying in. Hopefully he'll be able to nullify it. There is an Azebo down there who may try to intercept. And he was successful in doing that. So it looks like the enemy team's going to have a dragon pushing towards our middle lane right now. He's going to be going straight on the core. We have to try to delay him with whatever we have. I'll go ahead and just try to root him. I'll try to heal off of him. He's going to kick me away and save me. Thank you for that. We'll just sacrifice these zombies, try to get as much health back as humanly possible, and try to get this massive, massive dragon off of our core. To say it doesn't look very good for us is an understatement. I also don't understand why the dragon is constantly kicking me away when I am probably the least threatening person on our team to his health bar. But, you know, you can't win them all. This is our first loss in the A through Z series, and that's totally fine. I in no way say that I'm an Arthas player, and I definitely could have been trying to rally my team a little bit more to these objectives. But I actually think that was a pretty evenly matched game. So, Arthas. Oh, I forgot to change my camera. This is awkward. Don't look at me. I'm down here in the corner. Arthas. Is he worth picking up right now? Yes. On Infernal Shrines or Tomb of the Spider Queen. Is he good on maps where there's not a lot of AoE damage that's needed? Probably not. I mean, he's okay. I mean, he's all right. But would you pick him over a Muradin, an ETC, a Diablo, a Dahaka? Probably not. You know, like, he's okay. He does Arthas things. It's fine. And in no way am I saying that this talent build is representative of what you should be using when you play Arthas. I went for Eternal Hunger into Biting Cold, Immortal Coil, Army of the Dead, Frost Strike, Embrace Death, and Legion of Northrend. I wanted as much self-healing as I could get while also keeping my mana high with my trait and having that AoE damage be a little bit stronger around my character. And for the most part, I would say that I was relatively successful. We absorbed a decent amount of damage. We dealt a decent amount of damage, both in Hero and Siege. And I would say we did a pretty good job in that game, even though it was a weird match. Up next, we are going to have Ariel, the newest addition to Heroes of the Storm at the time of this recording. She is a ranged support who acts very differently from every other support that's been added into the game. Not going to be able to talk about her backstory, but, you know, I can go play her and we can see how it goes. Thank you all for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.